after a great first day of the tournament and all the other things going on, getting ready for what should be a big Friday program for you. And I've got great news if you happen to be a fan of one particular local football team. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
How about them Peacocks, man?
Yeah, that's right.
Good for them.
Good win, St. Pete's local. Like
Good
to
for
see
them.
it. Knocking out Kentucky. UCLA got very lucky to win late. It was a good day of upsets and a great day to have Iron Eagle on TV again, who is not only, it's not even debatable anymore. He is the voice of college basketball. He is the best we have. It's not close. And like I tweeted out last night, 5 minutes to go in a close game, just turn on his microphone. Let him do
He's
it.
also the best NFL announcer and NBA announcer, too. I mean, I appreciate and respect that you called out his greatness last night for what he does in the NCAAs, and he is great. But pound for pound, he's the best NFL announcer. What? And he's the best NBA announcer. What? Period.
Listen,
Stop. Bang.
Yeah, leave it alone. Why can't you just leave it alone? I said something nice about someone. Just leave it alone.
Because go further.
Leave it alone. He's the best. Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Spike did not bring in pizza for the staff today, as if today's not a special day. Day 2 of the tournament's really like day 1. So it's a carbon copy of day 1. So I guess Evan will be buying pizza and wings for everybody
Here's
coming
the
up.
credit card, Connor. How many pies should we go? 3?
Well, yeah, we don't need 10.
We don't need 10.
Sure. I think you do. It's a Friday. I
Okay.
think you do the Prince Street Pizza Friday.
All right.
And you probably had 2 dozen wings, and we're good.
2 dozen wings.
And we're good.
Why are we
And
eating
we're good.
wings? We can't find wings in New York City.
By the way, I called 3 more places today for wings.
Yeah.
Because I was going to treat wings today.
No, you weren't.
You heard the call?
Yeah, but you
heard the call.
I heard the call, but
And how did it go?
you were talking about wings, but
And like, what did the guy
what?
say?
There were no wings.
No wings.
No, but you saying you take care of wings
Yeah.
was bringing us access. I was going to pay for it.
However it goes down, Evan, doesn't really matter whose card's being used.
Yes.
I guess it does, actually. So something crazy happened yesterday that I am giddy about. Just
that?
absolutely giddy over.
What's up?
All right, so you got to follow the bouncy balls on this one. But I think once you hear the way I lay it out, you're going to be giddy too.
Go
okay?
ahead.
All right. There's 2. Who is the first tight end the Jets signed this offseason?
CJ Uzama.
CJ Uzama from the Cincinnati Bengals, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Our first legitimate tight end in over a decade, right?
Best since Dustin
Yeah,
Keller.
we're thrilled with this. It's a great. Joe Douglas has had a great offseason so far. So CJ Uzama is our new tight end. Now we signed the second tight end, but Uzama's the guy I'm talking
Tyler
about, right?
Conklin, yeah.
Uzama did an interview yesterday. And in that interview, he said that if the New York Jets win the Super Bowl this year, he's going to go to Broadway and dance down the streets to any song you want from the very famous Broadway show Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the same quote, right?
Yes, I did.
Now, that in and of itself, not a big story or big deal, right? Or who cares, right? But Uzama represents something that I can't remember the last time we've had it during an offseason, okay? The mere fact that a player on the New York Jets, or you and I now collectively as Jet fans, can even have a conversation that includes the words Jets and Super Bowl in it is like life-altering for me. It's like, because any other year, it'd be such a ridiculously far-fetched notion to contemplate the Jets postseason, the Jets in the playoffs, the Jets having a chance to make a run to the Super Bowl. And when CJ Uzama said that yesterday, and I only saw it this morning, to be totally frank with you, I said to myself, wait a minute, why not? I can dream the impossible dream. He's right. You can now use the term Jets in the same sentence as Super Bowl. Now, here's the rub. You can't do it if you're the Giants. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. The Giants are going to suck this year, but you know that going in.
Right.
So it's another wasted year for the Giants. But for us Jet fans, we got a shot, Evan.
We're being set up for the kill.
We
You
got
know
a
that.
shot.
You know we're being set up, right?
I'm not being set up for
No, we
nothing.
are, because even
Jets, Super Bowl. Jets, Super Bowl.
Even though I'm optimistic about this offseason, I've loved everything they've done. I was thinking about it the other day. I love everything. I'm excited for the draft. I like this roster. I'm forgetting all the mistakes Robert Saleh made during the season because it's the offseason. And so the expectations for the New York Jets, right or wrong, are growing by the day. You're
By
right.
the day, they've had a phenomenal
And it
offseason.
reminds me about the likely feeling we're going to have in the middle of November.
No, sir.
When they're sitting there at 2-8, and I'm cursing you out, and you're cursing Zach Wilson out, and then you're cursing me out because you'll remember I didn't want to trade for Deshaun Watson. So I love the expectations, and I love the hope, and I love what I've seen during this offseason. But we're being set up, bro.
We're not being set up.
You don't see it?
It's called hope. We have hope now.
What gave you hope? In all
When
seriousness.
C.J. Uzama came out and said, if we win the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. I've already said it, right?
Right. So was that?
The mere fact that I read that quote and I didn't say, he's out of his mind.
You know what's funny, though?
That means to me,
Yeah.
we have crossed over from, I don't know what it is, the dark side to this side. There's something happening.
Right.
And I like it.
I don't think the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. I want to make that clear. But what changed for me wasn't that. I love the fact that C.J. Uzama wants to be here. I love the fact that he made that kind of comment. I do. I have nothing against it. What changed for me was Joe Burrow. What changed for me is I watched the team make a jump last year.
Okay.
So did you.
Yes.
So did all of us. So when you use the phrase, your words about 2 minutes ago, why not us?
Yeah.
That was my entire thought watching the Bengals run. That
Sure.
it's a reminder that as unlikely as it is, and it is unlikely as it may seem, it can happen. As long as that quarterback makes a massive jump. C.J. Uzama, Tyler Conklin, Michael Carter in year 2, and hopefully adding another wide receiver. Quite frankly, last night when I saw the Devontae Adams trade, my reaction was the same quote you just had. Why not us?
Well, to be fair,
I'm
he
like, why
says
not us?
that was a childhood dream to play for the Raiders, so I respect that. But has anyone had a childhood dream of playing for the Jets?
If you pay him $135 million, trust me, his
No.
childhood dream.
The Packers offered him more to stay.
That's different. He was done there. They waited too long with
I
him
don't know
there.
about that. They offered him more. Whatever. Like, I want to know who's the next 5-star talent to say, I always dreamt of playing for the New York
Doesn't
Jets.
have to start that way, though, Craig.
As long as I get there, I don't care.
Look, he has a connection to the Raiders. Obviously, him and Derek Carr are college teammates, and they're best friends. Like, they're very, very close.
Right.
So I understand why he would prefer the Las Vegas Raiders. But when I saw the return that was given and the money that was given, my thought was, well, we could have beaten that return easily. We've got the money to spend. And as far as your point of, well, he wouldn't want to be here, things can change quickly.
Yeah, money typically changes
Money
everything.
talks, and then the culture changes. I always hear culture changes. It changes when you win. It changes when you get better. Keith Hernandez cried in a shower when he was traded to the New York Mets.
Right.
He cried like a baby. He didn't want to be here. So sometimes it starts with, I don't want to be here. Why would you want to be here? And it ends in a parade.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, so that's, if you're a diehard Jet fan, how about that? A new player on this team connecting us to the Super Bowl. Now, Giant fans, I feel for you. You're going to suck. I can't convince myself otherwise, and this is not to pick on the New York Giants. I think you guys know you're going to suck. So from a football standpoint, New York just became, it's funny, New York just became a Jet town, and on paper right now, it might be a Met town. It might be a Met town. The New York Yankees today traded Luke Voit out to San Diego. Whether or not we knew he was going to San Diego, we knew he was going to be traded. Now that Rizzo's in here, so I guess they save about, $5 million, something like that, getting rid of Luke Voit. And nothing else cooking Yankee-wise. Nothing else cooking Met-wise.
You know what's cooking, though?
Lindor grounded into a double play today.
The rivals of the New York Yankees and the New York Mets are cooking. The Red Sox are attached to Trevor Story. The Phillies are attached to Nicholas Castellanos. So while it appears that the Mets and Yankees may mostly be done,
right,
teams that you're going to have to beat seem to be on the prowl to get even better.
Which is going to bother every fan as soon as those deals, if they become official. That's going to be a real problem. And people are now saying Correa's going back to Houston. All this stuff's out there. So the Yankees are what they are. The Mets are what they are. Good enough to win 100 games? You guys think so. Good enough to make it to a postseason? You guys think so. But good enough to win it all? We won't know until we know.
You always want to get better. Just because the Mets may be, quote, good enough, or the Yankees may be, quote, good enough, doesn't mean you won't call out where there are deficiencies.
Oh, sure, yeah. And there's no such thing as a perfect team.
Right.
Right. So you want more left-handed pitchers. The Yankees want pitchers and outfielders and, frankly, a lot of other things. but they are both right now playoff teams on a piece of paper.
And if the Philadelphia Phillies sign Nicholas Castellanos and the Boston Red Sox sign Trevor Story, your chances of making the playoffs go down a few points.
Yes, which is why I would have voted for the 14 teams. Yankees made a calculated mistake not making sure that happened. And then real quick, college hoops. Listen, I know they're playing games all day today. We're not going to pretend like they're not. But when I see a team like Kentucky lose in the first round, it warms the cockles of my heart. When I see John Calipari or any of those types of guys, having to put their head down and shake hands in a loser line and then have a press conference about how the other team outplayed them, it brings great joy to my heart. It does. I love it. I love that as much as I love watching the underdog win. So congratulations to St. Peter's. Ha, ha, ha. To Kentucky and all you front-running weasels that root for teams like Kentucky, suck it. That's why the tournament is so great.
Not all 2 seeds throughout NCAA history are created equal. This is a blue blood. This is Kentucky. This is John Calipari, the most punchable face in the history of college sports. So you're right. And for our friends in New Jersey, for those that have paid attention to St. Peter's and are happy for St. Peter's, you didn't just get your first tournament win. You stuck it to one of the definition of blue bloods when it comes to college basketball.
So we got lots cooking. We got all your calls. Number to join, 877-337-6666. If you're a diehard Jet fan and you've now heard the Uzama quote about the Jets winning Uzama, whatever, about hearing the Jets winning the Super Bowl, I want you on the horn right now. I don't remember the last time, other than Rex Ryan, anybody connecting the Jets to the Super Bowl and it being real. Well, it's real again, and I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. Meanwhile, as I'm trying to watch the tournament earlier today, I've got Evan in my office with his iPad, desperately and frantically trying to find some type of online feed for the Pittsburgh Pirates spring or Mets versus Mets spring training.
The Yankees are playing the Pirates.
Pardon me, yeah.
The Mets are playing the Mets.
Yeah, and the Mets did something that's so Metsy, it's embarrassing today. They all wore the same exact jerseys and uniforms.
That pissed me off, dude.
So they were who's playing first? Who's on first? I have no idea. They're all wearing the same uniform. You saw that, right?
Yes.
Like you couldn't put a white jersey on the home team?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, I agree with you. I once went to an inter-squad game because I'm that kind of guy. And you know what pissed me off? The managers and coaches brought out chairs behind the catcher. And it was distracting. Really? I'm like, what is this? What are we at the beach? And there was a baseball game, and they played it, and they're sitting there behind the plate in lounge chairs.